Some of the most advanced features of Google's tools are being released gradually, almost silently. But each small update is already causing a huge buzz in the community. In recent days, two new features have started circulating among those who closely follow what Google is preparing. The first involves Google Slides, which can now turn drafts, notes, and loose ideas into presentations with almost finished designs. At the same time, another highly talked about feature started appearing inside the LM notebook for pro users, called Overviews. In a cinematic video, the proposal is simple but powerful. Instead of just generating texts or summaries, the tool can produce explanations in video format with a structured narrative and a much more engaging visual presentation. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what's already working now and how these new features can change the way we create presentations and study documents. And why are so many people saying that these updates could redefine the way we use Google's tools? Alright, so let's get into the video. Well guys, today I want to share with you these two new features that have already started showing up for those with pro accounts. But don't worry, because Google itself has already said that they'll also be available for those with free accounts. Obviously with lower limits, but if you don't pay anything to access Google's tools, you'll probably be able to use them in the future as well. Starting here with Google Slides, listen to what they're saying. Now you can create Google Slides presentations with flawless design that instantly match the style of your presentation. Turn sketches into editable charts and messy notes into polished layouts, all with just one click. How does that work? Until recently, we had the Nano Banana feature there. So you would type your idea into the prompt and it would create a slide for you in notebook style, LM. In other words, it was just an image. You couldn't edit it. With this update, everything changes. You're going to create a presentation, but now it's editable. And it's not that kind of editable where you have to type a prompt to make changes, right? You'll be able to click on what's inside your slide and make changes manually, which is really cool. The other update refers to the LM notebook. Listen up. Google has started making the cinematic video overview available in the LM notebook. For pro accounts, this feature had already been released some time ago for ultra accounts. And how does it work? Basically, the LM notebook can now generate a video using the information you upload as sources inside your notebook. Book? Oh, but didn't that already exist? What? It did exist. It was a slide narration. So, you would put your information there, the notebook would understand what you had, turn it into slides, and then you had a narration. Now no, it uses Nano Banana 2, Vio 3.1, and other Google tools to create a video for you with illustrations, animations, videos, and so on, which makes the experience much more realistic. So, let's go. I'll show you these two features in practice now. Well, starting here with Google Slides. It's not showing up for everyone yet because they've already said these updates are being rolled out gradually, so it might take a little while. Here. For now, example. It's still not available on free accounts, but as I mentioned at the beginning, Google promised that they will also get it. Alright, so let's go. I'm here in my Google Slides, so I'm going to click here to start a presentation. Notice that now, besides creating infographics and images using Nano Banana, I can also generate slides. It's still in the beta phase, so I'm going to click here. Notice that here on the side, it already opens the Gemini panel. So what do I need to do? See? Just type down here the type of slide I want to create. For now, you can only make one slide at a time. You can't do more. For example, if you ask it to create an entire presentation, it doesn't work. You have to do it slide by slide. So, first, I'm going to start without using sources, just putting in my prompt and asking Gemini to create this slide for me. Create a slide about the advances in artificial intelligence, using images and charts as illustrations. The text should be in Portuguese. Why did I say here that the text should be in our language? Simply because, since this is a new feature, what will happen? B. Most of the time, it may give you a result in English, so it's important to specify that you want the result in Portuguese. Once that's done, just send your command and it's ready, it's already finished. And look at the quality of this slide. Here I have advances in artificial intelligence. The Race for Efficient Systems in 2025 system has established AI as a driver of global productivity and technical innovation. Here, it shows me where the information was taken from. So, besides creating the slide, it goes to the internet and looks for information from reliable sources. Then, if you want to use it, just click here on replace and the slide is automatically added. And now, something very interesting is that everything here becomes editable. So this image here is very big. I just need to click on it and then I can resize it however I want. Look how interesting that is then. It's like a regular slide that you create using PowerPoint or another tool, because all the elements that appear here are editable, images and text. You can change them however you want. See, you can even change colors. Any questions? Look, here I have this blue color. If I want to change it, I just select it, then I come here and change the color. So, everything is editable, which is really cool because if you create a slide like this on the LM notebook, you can't edit it directly. You have to enter a prompt so the artificial intelligence can make the change for you. Here, you just need to select it and then you can make the change however you want. Another cool thing is, if you don't like this result here, you can click here to improve the slide. Using artificial intelligence, it will bring a prompt here which is in English. If you accept, just click here to send the command. Notice that it used the same information, but it gave me a different layout. Here, you have the option to replace the one you already had in your presentation or insert a new one. Then, if you click here on Insert, you'll have 2 slides and you can start building your presentation this way, Presentations. You type here in the prompt and ask the artificial intelligence to generate the slides for you. Now, with this update, you can also create presentations right here in Google Slides using documents that are in your Google Drive. See how it works. Create a slide about the evolution of stocks on B3 use, then I'm going to type at symbol what this command does. It allows me to search for files inside my Google Drive. It can be a Google Doc, a spreadsheet, or a PDF file, which is my case. Look here, I have the stock report, I'm going to click on it, and it is automatically mentioned here in my prompt. So, you can upload these documents here, as long as they are in your Google Drive. Once that's done, let's send the command. So, instead of searching for information on the internet, it will use the data from my PDF to create my slides. Done, it's finished here. I'm going to ask to add a slide. As always, if I want, I can edit any part of my slide here. I'm going to change the color here, so I just need to double click and I'll change it from blue to red. Look how cool that is. If you want, you just need to click the button again and ask the artificial intelligence to improve the slide for you. So, this feature becomes very practical because, as I said at the beginning, you have something similar on the notebook, LM. But when it generates the slide for you, it's a single image and you can't edit it unless you ask for that in the prompt. Here, no. It will generate a new slide and you can edit it however you want, just like you would with a regular slide. Done. It has already finished generating my new layout. Then I'll insert it and now I have 2 options, number 1 and number 2, then you choose the one you like best. Let's go to the notebook LM because I want to show you something now. A new feature that's really cool and will help a lot so you can create videos using your own content. Okay? Well, let's go. This is an old notebook that I had. Talking about the Artemis mission, the next technological leap towards the moon. How do I create a cinematic video? Well, if it's already showing up in your account, when you click here, in Video Overview, I already have the cinematic option here, as well as Explainer and Brief, so you can choose between these 3 options. However, for those who have their own account, at least at the time I'm recording this video, you can only generate 2 cinematic videos per day. If you try to generate a 3rd one, a message will appear here asking you to upgrade to another account or something like that, because Google isn't stupid. Not sure. It gives you the experience, gives you a taste of how the tool works. Then, if you want more, you have to pay. Go! Even having a pro account, so check out the first video I created using this tool here. I didn't specify that I wanted the text to be narrated in Portuguese, so it gave me the result in English. So let's see both versions. First in English.
At the equipment in this photo. In 1969, the Apollo program treated the moon like a high-speed sprint to plant a flag, collect rocks, and get home safely. NASA rescheduled the Artemis II launch to 2026, driven by the focus on long-term infrastructure. Every component must now support sustained habitation, which requires far more complex engineering than the 3-day visits of the 1960s. The Artemis program relies on a massive interdependent set of technology. If a single piece, whether it is the commercial lander, the heavy lift rocket, or the communications grid, fails, the entire architecture collapses. Returning to the lunar surface requires assembling the most complex deep space infrastructure project ever attempted. To push that heavy infrastructure out of Earth's gravity requires sheer brute force. This is the Space Launch System, or SLS, a heavy lift rocket designed specifically to carry massive payloads into deep space before hauling large habitat modules. The SLS will carry these 4 astronauts on Artemis 2. Their objective is a 10-day test flight orbiting the far side of the Moon without landing. For survival, engineers designed a failsafe called a free return trajectory. As shown here, the Orion capsule flies a figure-8 path around the Earth and Moon. The gravity of both bodies automatically slingshots the crew home. Even if engines completely fail, Artemis II serves as a strict survival test.
Viram, how interesting! So it's no longer just a bunch of slides being narrated by an artificial voice. Now you have a much more immersive video. Why? It searches for images on the internet, it generates new images, it adds illustrations, and it also creates videos. Using VO 3.1, it puts together a complete editing package. Here, you enter your text based on those sources you found on the internet or in PDFs, documents you already have on your computer. It will understand the content and create a video with this quality for you. By the way, using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sources here, I was able to create a video that's about 5 minutes long. Then I did another test. I used the same prompt, but this time I asked for the text to be narrated in Portuguese, spoken here in Brazil. And that's a hack, right? This is a trick we already used in the notification system. We used LM when the tool wasn't 100% available in our language. Let's see the result.
Let's go. In 1972, the Apollo 17 mission ended the first chapter of human exploration on the Moon. Since then, this solitary module remained as the final record of an era when our presence was based on short and symbolic visitors. Today, the focus has shifted from one-time exploration to habitability. The goal is no longer just to collect samples and return, but to establish an infrastructure that allows humans to live and work on the lunar surface for extended periods. The Artemis program emerges as the technical blueprint for this effort, coordinating a series of planned missions to build this logistical base throughout this decade. Keeping humans alive in deep space requires technology far beyond the analog systems of the 1970s. Without the protection of Earth's atmosphere, astronauts face constant cosmic radiation and temperature swings of hundreds of degrees, making biological safety the center of every engineering decision. For this extraterrestrial civilization to work, NASA and its international partners need to integrate 4 complex complexes: heavy transport, constant communication, biological support, and diplomatic governance. The viability of this project begins with the Space Launch System, or SLS. This is the heavy lift rocket designed to launch the massive components needed to sustain a crew outside Earth's orbit. On top of the SLS travels the Orion, the vital command and habitat module. It's inside this structure that the astronauts will spend the 10 days of transit between Earth and the lunar vicinity. Protected by the integrated life support systems, the Artemis II mission will validate these systems. 4 astronauts will follow a free return trajectory, a maneuver that uses the Moon's gravity to propel the capsule back to Earth.
You see then, you have a narration that matches exactly with the images being shown. And these images, as I mentioned earlier, are images that were found on the internet, generated using NanoBanana 2, or even animations and videos created exclusively with View 3.1. So, in the end, you have something here that's much better than what we had before, which was slides being narrated by an artificial voice. Now, no, you have a complete video, and in this case here, I asked to translate the material into Portuguese. Spoken here in Brazil, I got a video that's 6 minutes and 45 seconds long. So guys, try it out. If you have a pro account, probably, if it hasn't shown up yet, it will show up for you soon. So, did you like these new features? Have they already appeared in your accounts? Let me know in the comments, okay? I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Is all that's left to let go? We had highs, but no.